Hi guys, welcome to our live stream today, November 18, 2020. So let's start. So I will start with BTC first and then BTC dominance. And then possibly Ethereum. And if you have other chart requests, if any. Because today is actually a very volatile day and I only trade BTC and Ethereum. So mostly that's the major ones. BTC is the major um, uh, futures that I trade, BTC perpetual. So let's start with BTC with a long-term view and then the short-term view. And also I will share my position if there is any. So if you have watched my previous videos, that's still the same. My long-term view does not change. So in this analysis, I will use, wait, let me just remove all drawings. I will use the Renko chart because Renko chart is less noise and we can clearly see the trends. So this is a triangle, and normally a triangle we measure the heights, and at breakout we will put that as a possible target. So we'll just copy that and we'll put that here. The breakout is close to 10,300 area. So since it break out the long-term downtrend, I'm more bullish on Bitcoin from this area, from July actually. So I think I shared that most of my trades are actually in long position. I do some shorts, but normally I do that when I'm scalping trades. So at these levels, I'm looking at the all-time high as the next possible resistance area, which is the close to 20,000 area. Actually, this is 296. This is around 19,891, so close to 20,000 area. So the immediate support I'm looking at is the immediate support is at this area, which is the 17,000. Breakout to the all-time high could possibly create a new all-time high at these levels, around 28,500 levels. So I think that's it for now. Worst case, if ever it break down this 17,000, possibly retest the 13,500 levels. So I think that's it. But as you can see, a Renko chart is still forming a possible next bullish Renko chart. So we only have at least two more Renko chart before the all-time high. So each Renko chart is actually $742. So that's my long-term view. On my short-term view, we can actually also use this one, the Renko chart. The support I'm looking at is, immediate support I'm looking at is of course this area or this dotted blue line here, which is the 17,811. break down to this level, possibly retest the 17,000 area. But my bias here is it will possibly retest the all-time high, possibly this week. So resistance, the all-time high. So I will also share my current position uh, or today's my or what my position or what my trades are today. So if you remember, yesterday I have no open long position or I have no position yesterday. However, when we ended the live stream around, let me just check this, 3 hours, around I think close to 12 midnight, um, November 17. It's already 2 p.m. Maybe we'll use the 30 minutes. 15, no, 21 something. So we started around this area. So around 17,200. However, I did not open any position after the live stream. But the following day or today, I open long position at around 8 a.m. Possibly around this area, around 17,700. And then I TP'd or closed my long position at 18,000, close to 18,300 or around this area. And then this is actually lunchtime and the breakdown. So luckily, I closed my position and this is about lunchtime when they investors or traders dump it. So this is about lunchtime. However, as you can see, my alert is at, so since it's lunchtime, I prepare our lunch, and yeah, I heard the alert at around these times. So there's actually a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times that it crossed that area. And I managed to relong around 2 p.m. So around 2 p.m., since we are in 30 minutes, 2 p.m. around 14. So I managed to open at this area around 2 p.m. here. Around, if I'm not mistaken, 17,600. I did not catch the bottom, which is the around 17,200. And then I managed to close some 50% of my open position at 18,200. Currently, I still hold the other 50% from my two accounts, which is I use my swing account and my scalp account. So at one account, TP area is 20,000, and the other account TP area is, wait, let's use the Renko chart. I use that. 20,000 and 19,200 area. So that's my TP. And of course, I have a market stop. So I think that's it. So let's see how it goes for BTC this week. So it's actually a very volatile day, and I think it's one of the most volatile day today because if I'm not mistaken, this is a very profitable day. So hopefully others also have the same profits or a gain in this market movement. So I think that's it for BTC for now. So this is the most or the options I'm actually looking at, but we can also use the Elliott wave. And if we will use that, we are actually in wave 3 with a possible target of around, we can actually use this one. Wave 3, normally I use the 1.618 from wave 2. So from here, my next target to wave 3 is around 29,000. So actually that's also the same as my target. So after that, it could possibly, of course, retrench and then it will start to form wave 5. So I think this is it for now. I'm actually more bullish on Bitcoin after the global dump. So most of my trades are actually long, but I also do have some shorts if I'm scalping. I define scalping as, since I have 3 accounts, one for scalping, one for swing, and one for position trades. So the scalping is, my time frame is minutes to few hours. Swing is day to 1 week. And then the position trades, I use that for longer than 1 week to 6 months. So that's how I use my 3 different accounts. So now let's move on to the next, maybe the BTC dominance. So if you have some questions, just feel free to ask. So actually, I also have the my trading journal. So if you want to join, you can feel free to join. But when I'm scalping, I normally don't post it in my journal, but I just normally post what I'm doing. Because if I will post all the ROE or etc. here, once I close the position, it will be very long and time consuming also. So there. Anyway, let me just share it if you want to join. So majority of my trades are actually Bitcoin. And then sometimes I also trade Ethereum Perpetual and Litecoin Perpetual. And then I think that's 80 to 90% of all my trades. Around 8% I think is commodities and US indices, and the remaining 1 to 2% Philippine stocks. So now let's move on to this one, the BTC dominance. Oh, it's actually up by 7%. So let me just clean this up or remove all the drawings, and then let's begin. The BTC dominance. Oh, it's a dump. Why they are dumping? Let's I think this is just a profit taking and yeah, healthy correction. So now, as I mentioned previously, there are actually three gaps around the 66 area, 74 area, and thus close to 97 area. So this is the um, first gap, which has already been filled. The second gap is at this area. Oh, oh. And the third gap, that's around the 74 area, and the third gap is at close to 97 area, so which is at this area. So we are currently trending higher, so I expect that it will possibly fill this next gap, which is the close to 74 area. So let me just draw a bit trends, and this one. Normally when I trade, I think I trade it based on the price action. And yeah, candlestick is fine. Especially when I scalp, I just use really the candlestick. So break out to this level, or after filling this gap, we might possibly, or it might possibly consolidate at this level before it will possibly retest this area. So I'm actually really more bullish on the Bitcoin. However, if um, failed to continue at this level, possibly will retest this area. So on the other side, so which is the 60 percent. But yeah, my bias here is more bullish and will possibly fill this 74 area, and then after filling this 74 area, we might possibly consolidate at this area 74 before it will retest this area or close to 90%. So let's see how it goes. So that will also, yeah, I think the Bitcoin price will also follow since dominance might possibly go higher. But currently, Bitcoin now is trading at 17,854. So in a bull trend, of course, correction is normal. So next is, yeah, I would also like to share this one, the Ethereum. But I will remove all the drawings first because I will use the Renko chart. So my long-term view are almost the same. I mean the same if you're watching it daily. Because I'm streaming every Monday to Saturday, or yeah, if I have time to stream. Because this time is actually after office. Because I'm also working online. So as you can see, it's almost the same with BTC. However, for Ethereum, it did not yet break out the long-term downtrend area. So though it's now currently trending higher. So this is now Oh, so there. Currently trending higher or in an upward channel, and could possibly, yeah, it's already at a resistance area, breakout. I think it will possibly break out at this level and could possibly retest this area, which is the that's yeah, well, actually it depends where this Renko chart will possibly retest this, but yeah, at least more than 500 area, because what I'm seeing is around the 600 area. But for this, for Ethereum, I will also share my positions later, or yeah, what's my current trades are. So I think that's it. That's the best case that I'm looking at, around this area, or around, actually around 600 area already. And since we are at resistance area, so if it managed to trade within this 476 area, or 400, or 476 to 488, yeah, it's more, my bias here is of course more bullish and could possibly retest the 600, break down to that level, could possibly retest each Renko chart. We can actually use that as support, the 600, I mean the 462 area. And worst case is of course retest this area. Oh, retest this support area. Oh, what happened? So that, or possibly close to around the 374 area. So we'll just put that. So I think that's it for now. Once it break this 600 levels, I'm more bullish on Ethereum. Possibly most of my trades after that will be long, like what I did to Bitcoin. So because my possible target here is, after it break out that 600 levels, is I think 18 something if I'm not mistaken yesterday. So around, just an estimate, around 1984. So yeah, it changes the my prediction changes because yeah, this is just I did not measure the exact, so we'll just use the most likely estimate. So I think that's it for Ethereum. Mm, yeah, my current position is that today I managed to close my Ethereum, time-based futures Ethereum that expires December 25. So I managed to close that at $500. And then after the dump, around 2 p.m., I managed to open another position. And my target there is, or my TP area is 550 area. So I think that's it, since it will expire December 25. So I think that's it, guys. If you have some questions, feel free to ask, else I will end this live stream. So it's just quick for today, especially for those who are tuning in every day. Oh, this is manage. So let's use at this one. Normally I use the TRs when I scalp. So let's see. That's really a pretty bearish one. Look at this. Normally I look at this. same top, and a very long bearish candle. And look at the divergence indicator. It already reached almost or 80 plus, which is close to regular bearish. So expect a possible pullback, which is already at this area. So let's see if it holds at that area. So the support I'm looking at is actually at this area, the 17,600 area. So if it break that level, possibly the 17,000. So let's see if it will sustain that bearish candle or will try to break this 18,275 because 3 hours is one more hour before it closes. So what else? So next time when I created a public account wherein you can see all my trades, possibly we'll try to use that and let's try to trade scalp trading. Because normally when I scalp 3 hours or 30 minutes, using only the candlestick. So this one is still bearish, but this is a possibly a reversal if the low of this is 17,811.25. If the low of this will not touch or lower than this 17,881, possibly this will be a possible reversal of the trend and could possibly go higher. So that's just how I trade. So let's see if it will hold at this level. If not, we will or I will wait for the next candle. So 28 minutes left before it close. But seems like the bearish or bears are on the move. So the low of this is 17,811. So it should not go below that area. Else we'll wait for the next candle before going long. So that's really how simply I trade using the candlestick. Oh, it's continuous, so we will wait for possibly the next one, or if this will ends like this one, a very long week. So possibly I also got a stop out at again because I have a market trailing stop, which is I normally use 100 or negative 100 with if I go long as the amount or positive 100 if I go short. So let's see. Anyway, if you have some other comments or questions, just feel free to ask. Because majority of my trades today are just Bitcoin because I love the volatility of Bitcoin today. So yeah, I think it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, this is the most gains I have because I did not ride the global dump during March. So this one is, yeah, I think this one is the most gains I have on a daily trade. Because you see the volatility, that's why I also love the volatility because if there's a volatility, you can actually manage to gain more or opportunity to gain more. Anyway, when I trade, I normally use 1% as a margin. Example, if I have $1,000 as in my wallet, and I use 100 times leverage, so that means that I can put or trade at $100,000. However, I only use 1% of that, which is the $1,000 also, as a position margin. So I never exceed at that amount. If I want to add more in my positions, I will add more assets to my wallet. So, 25 minutes left before it closes. Oh, pound versus Japanese yen. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's try to look at his request or her request. JPY. We'll use this Forex CM. Oh, I remember this. I think we analyzed it before. So we'll just use this one. Oh, the last time is go long. But anyway, he might probably get stop out if ever that he go long. So using this chart, the previous chart that we have analyzed before, so if you manage to go long, you might probably, the TP1 area is that level, 137. And currently, it's now retesting this previous resistance, now becomes the support area, which is the 137.75. If it hold at this area, it will probably on the medium term, it will retest this area, the 139. So currently it seems like it forming a possible, seems like a possible doji. So let's look at each candle. So this one, the low of is 137.54. Yeah, see? Yeah, 137.54. This is 66 going higher, 81, and this is, as you can see, the low is getting higher. So I think it might possibly just consolidate at these levels before it will retest this area, the 139, which is the previous resistance. Not actually the previous resistance, because I normally use the top of the body as resistance. Since this is the top of this body and also this one, these two candles, so I use that. I seldom use the wicks as resistance. So yeah, I think that's on the daily candle. So let's move on to less time frame. the 3 hours, if we can see some trends. Anyway, let's look at this one, the divergence indicator. Actually, I'm just seeing a consolidation at this area, so I'll go to the 30 minutes time frame. So on 30 minutes time frame, yeah, the trend is going higher. However, this one, as you can see, it failed to break that level. So I will wait this current candlestick to close, because it might possibly retest this area again. So which is seems like a strong support area, because it's already went to this area many times. I think 1, 2, 3 on 30 minutes time frame. Yeah, because it's, yeah, the pressure is still on, the selling pressure. So yeah, I'll just wait for it to close. But on a higher time frame, possibly will be a possible long, in my opinion, and with a target of that, what was that, 137 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 137 something on a daily time frame, or I mean, I think 3 hours. I mean, the 137 is the support, the 139 I should say as a target area. 137 area is the support I'm looking at, and it's actually trending higher, but it's need to hold at this area for me to go long. For, yeah, for lesser time frame or for shorter time frame, I just wait for it to close at the moment, because it seems like yeah, it could possibly still go down. So I will wait at 137.80 area. So this area. So let's see if it managed to hold at that area, and then I will go long with a target of around 139 using the 3 hours time frame. This area 139.64. So which is the half of this. So if I manage to go long at that area, of course, I will change this risk reward ratio. So with stop loss at this area, the low of this area, which is, wait, let's try to check, which is one, what, 137.44. Yeah, just a few cents from the current price. The low of this, let me just check the low of this candle, which is, yeah, 137.54. That's the low of this candle. But my entry price will be the 137.92 area. So around this area. So let's see. So that's actually a possible risk reward ratio of 4.48. So for Forex, I think usually it's 1,000 times leverage. So 1.30% is actually more than good enough if ever it will reach this target. However, if um, I got stop out, I would possibly lose around 0.29%. So I think that's it. And then the next one is, what's the next one? New Zealand and BTC and JPY also. New Zealand and Japanese yen. New Zealand dollar and the Japanese yen. So let's just try to use the daily candle first. Let's try to use this. So this is it. Actually, that's a breakout on a weekly candle or a weekly time frame. Done. Yeah, there. So since it's a breakout, the previous resistance, which is this one, which is this area, this actually we can write some. I think we can write some text. This is the trend line resistance. Trend line resistance. So show text. So this, oh, that should be on the top. Let's try to show it at the top. So that one, this trend line resistance now becomes the support area on a weekly time frame. Now let's go to the daily time frame. So I'm just trying to see. And then we could actually possibly try this one. Yeah. This. Oh. Did I use, I think this one. One, two. It's actually seems like it's sitting at the resistance or now becomes the support. So seems like forming a possible doji. So I will tag it as a support. So normally after breakout, it consolidate or it consolidate or pull back before it will retest the next resistance area. So that's the support I'm looking at is the 71.5050 on a daily time frame, and the possible, on conservative note, I will use this one as, of course, a possible resistance, which is very close to this area. Breakout to that level could possibly retest this area, the 73 area. But on a bullish note, it could possibly retest, of course, this area. Oh, not that one. Not that side, that area. So if it continues to break this resistance area, so what else? I think, yeah, seems like this possibly on conservative note we'll use this. Oh, but it's already here, so yeah, possibly this area. So we'll just use that area. So now let's try to measure the possible risk reward on a daily time frame. So if I go long at this area and my entry price is around this price, stop loss around that 71.47 area, and then my first TP, normally I TP it at um, at various prices. So that one. Oh, it changed. It moved. So this is a risk reward ratio of 1.87. For me, 1.87 is, yeah, normally I don't trade if the risk reward is 1.87 only. But anyway, it also depends on the trader setup. However, if my TP is the next area, actually I'm more bullish on this. Seems like it's sitting at support. Yeah, this one, the candle. Oh, why is that? No, I think I used the different. So if my target, or I'm more bullish on it, that it could possibly retest the 73 area, 73.29, that's a risk reward ratio of 4.1. Possibly possible target of around 1.96% if I'll just use the 1 times leverage. But if I got stop out at 71.51, I might possibly lose around 0.48%. Anyway, let's try to look at this. Um, this one. So it's just flat, but I think it will, if you look at it on a, let's make it larger, it's actually going up. It's actually going up, because if it's just flat, it should be as that, like that. So the divergence indicator on a daily time frame is going up, but it did not yet close, or we need to wait 7 hours and 30 minutes before it closes. But my bias here is actually I'm more bullish. My personal bias. Anyway, let's try to look at the 3 hours time frame. Possibly we can see some much clearer direction. So on 3 hours time frame, it's actually going down. Let's try. So 1 more hour before it closes. So I think possibly it will retest this area. The 71.76. I don't like that 3 hours. This one, the 30 minutes. I think we need to have to wait a bit, because the 30 minutes is also trending lower. But it's already approaching the regular bullish area, which is the 44.35. So I think you just have, I think I will just have to wait at this area using this 30 minutes time frame before I go long. So how many minutes are left? Where is the timer here? Wait, let me just seeing the timer in 30 minutes. So we're, oh, it's 10:23, so possibly 7 minutes. But look at this. Yeah, actually, I don't know how you trade, but normally I'm looking at the wicks, as I mentioned before, the wicks and the the top, or I mean the body, the top and the body below. Possibly it will trend higher, in my opinion. If it closes higher, yeah, I'm more bullish on that and could possibly retest this immediate resistance of around 72 area. So see, and then possibly here. So I think that's it when trading. Just don't forget to put a stop loss and of course TP area, because no one knows where the market will go. Sometimes um, whales will just dump the price, pump or dump the price. So I think that's it. Actually, my bias here is more bullish on the 30 minutes time frame, but I will wait for it to close. Let's go back to 32, I mean daily time frame. When I'm trading Forex, normally it's more on minutes, minutes or even seconds. Anyway, it's depend on the trader. Currently, I'm not trading any Forex at the moment. Most of my trades are in Bitcoin. So we're done with the New Zealand something, and then we'll go to the next. What's the next chart? Euro. Euro. Let's see, HF. Swiss franc. So we'll use that. I'll just look at this weekly time frame. So is this the whole chart? Well, just merely looking at the weekly chart, possibly it's a more bullish. I'm more bullish, if ever. So anyway, let's look at this daily time frame. So is this it? So, oh, was this a, no, did not. I think there's, oh, that one. Oh, it's actually at the resistance at the moment using the daily time frame. Is there else? Yeah. Actually, this a very critical area because this is at the resistance area. So on daily time frame, once it hit this area, it reject. However, this one, let's see if it will reject this area or break out. So possible two scenarios here. If it failed to break that area, which is the support of 1.06 area. But if it break out, so this is just weeks. On a conservative note, I will use this. Oh, where is that? I will use that one. Oh, actually we can break out. This is a triangle, so let's just use this one. Daily time frame. So where is, oh, which is this area? Oh, even this area, the 1.12. If it break this area, so it's actually at a um, very critical area. However, let's look at the 3 hours time frame. Actually, we'll try to use this one. The Bollinger Band is tightening. So a possible breakout or breakdown. Just where is that? 30 minutes. There is a doji there and it's trending lower. And there is a doji here. So this is the support I'm looking at, actually, this area, the 1.08 area. So it need to remain at that area for me to enter a transaction. Normally, I use also, aside from the wicks and the body, I also look at the doji. There's a doji there and a doji also here. And how many minutes left? Oh, 28 minutes left before it actually close. Because if you're trading in a very tight liquidation, yeah, I'll just wait for the candle to close. But yeah, it seems like since this is a doji and then it trend higher, and it's not even go down at the low of this doji, so possibly it will. So that's why I created an arrow that it could possibly go up. Let's go back to the daily time frame. Yeah, actually, I really don't know how you trade. 7 hours left. But for me, if I'll just trade this one, yeah, I know it's already at a very critical level. However, sometimes the very critical level is also a very exciting trade. So I'll just try to use this, like for example, this area. Since it's trending higher, of course, I will be more conservative on trading it. I will not use the possible target of this area of that 1.12 if ever it break this key resistance area. So since I'm working on a very critical level, I will use the low of this candle as a stop loss. So which is the low of this candle is 1.0772, so around 1.07 something, or maybe around 1.8, rounded off. And then my entry at this price and or 1.08, and then TP at 1.10. So that's actually a possible risk reward of 5.58. So I might possibly go long, and possible TP area is I might possibly gain around 1.97% if my TP got hit at 1.10. However, if I got stop out at this 1.07 or 1.08, I might possibly lose around 0.35. Oh, it's very, very close. So maybe I'll just use the low of this, which is 1.07772. So around that area as a stop loss. Because this one is already a possible strong bullish one because it engulf a lot of candles. So that's only just my opinion. So I probably might go long. So what's the other? I think that's the last one. I'm watching your stream. Very interesting and educational for you. Can you go through the BTC chart and get me through your thoughts? Actually, BTC chart has already been done a while ago. So I will just try to repeat that again. Okay, done. Okay, let's try to, I'll just go this her message or his message, and then yeah, we'll try to repeat that. We'll repeat BTC. So now let's go back to BTC. I think he did not or he missed it. So let me remove all the drawings first so that we will start anew. So for BTC, I'm actually more a long-term bullish, really long-term bullish. Anyway, I also read some of the articles. What's that? They are targeting triple digit. But let's see. So anyway, I think if you have watched it previously, yeah, you already know that this is, yeah, what I'm currently looking at. If it's a triangle, normally we measure the height of the triangle and then put that height or the height of it at breakout. And then copy that and paste. Actually, at breakout, most of my positions are actually long. Actually, even after the global dump, most of my positions already are long. So that's why I managed to, I think year to date, most of my transactions are, I think green. I think green. Yeah, actually it's green. But I also, on that green or year to date gains, there are losses in it, of course. So we're just talking real here. Because most of traders are just, yeah, there are profits and there are losses. And that's the reality. So, so my long-term target is at least this area, which is the around close to 29,000. Actually, sometimes it varies in some few dollars. Yeah, maybe because of the height that I put and also here, but more or less around close to that area. So as I mentioned before, we can also use this dotted line here as support or resistance. Depends where the projected Renko is. But since the projected Renko is yellow, or that is actually projected uh, bullish candle. Let me just show you. Projected up bars, the yellow one. So possibly this blue dotted line here can serve as support, the 17,811. That's the immediate support I'm looking at. Breakdown to that support could possibly retest this 17,000 area here. Worst case is, of course, to retest this area, the previous resistance. Now that could possibly become the support area. However, on the brighter side or on the bullish side, I'm expecting it to retest the all-time high, which is the close to 20,000. Actually, the high of this is 19,891, so a few dollars before the 20,000. But yeah, I think I'll just use the 20,000 as a possible resistance. So I'll just round it off. So a breakout to that level, I think after breakout this 20,000, it might possibly consolidate at the 20,000 area before it will create a new all-time high of which is the 29,000. So that's my long-term projection on BTC. The other one is actually we can also use the Elliott wave. So using the Elliott wave, there is normally I just use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or the general trend. That's which is this. I normally don't choose Elliott wave in a shorter time frame. 2, oh, this is the 2, wave 2, and possibly wave 3 and wave oh wave 4 and wave 5. Let's just put that one, and then we'll try to project the wave, possible wave 3. So normally I use the 1.618. So that's also, which is also around this area, close to 29. That's actually 29,560. And then the retrenchment or the wave 4, it should not go lower than the previous all-time high, the one, if ever it create a new all-time high here. So, or that's around 20,000 area. And then the wave 5 or the final wave we'll also use this again. Oh, but wave 3 actually can go even higher. So we'll just use that one at the moment. So possibly this area around the 35,000. But of course, it will once we have the actual data, it will also varies. It depends if it will hit this 29,500 or it can go even higher. So that's my long-term view. Actually, I'm also a Bitcoin holder. Actually, I started accumulating it around October 2016. Actually, I started using the faucet, the one that you click the captcha and then you will pay a few satoshis. However, after that, I experienced that faucet. I started investing by allotting actually less than $1, and then if I have the money, or it's a payday or every 15 and 30, which is the salary day or payday. So I add more than, yeah, actually I add, yeah, a few thousands. So that's how I started investing in Bitcoin. And I just started trading futures around, um, what's that? May 2019, which is last year. So at first, of course, I also got liquidated, which is, I think, most of the traders experience. But I don't know if they also mention their experience about trading futures. So I think that's my long-term view. Almost actually the same with this. If ever the triangle, the wave and the wave 3, if ever this will be the possible target, the 29,000. So let's see. Now let's move on to just shorter time frame, or wait, um, or short term time frame view. We can actually even use this one. Wait, oh, we are actually in weekly time frame. So we'll just add this divergence indicator there. Let me just show you that, because that's actually a breakout from the previous resistance. Possibly it will retest this area of more than or close to 90 level. So if that continues, so actually my personal trades are actually I go long when there is a dump. Like for example, a few hours ago, I think around 2 p.m. here, Philippine time, it went as low as 17,200, and I managed to go long when my alert rings, or that's actually I managed to go long at around 17,600 area, and then I TP some at 18,200 to 300 area. So anyway, so since it's now at 17,811, oh, I mean, it's now at trading at 17,885 something, and it's a bullish Renko chart. Possibly, yeah, if you look at the Renko chart, two more Renko chart before the all-time high. So the next resistance here is the 18,554, and then after that is this one, the 19,200. This one, the all-time high really is at, wait, what's that? 19,891.36. 91. However, that is a week using this Renko chart. So actually, I have an existing long position with that I opened at 17,600 area. However, I have a trailing stop. Possibly I already got top out because my trailing stop amount is 100 area. So since it went as high as, if you look at this one, it went as high as, I think 18,000, yeah, 18,488, yeah. I might already possibly got a stop out from 18,488 or close to 18,300 area. So anyway, every dump, I personally go long. And that's my personal strategy. Because when it already break this triangle pattern, most of my trade is actually long. As you can see in this Renko chart, the general trend is actually bullish. And we are just two more Renko charts away before the all-time high. Though I'm expecting, of course, a few pullback or consolidation before it will possibly retest this all-time high of around close to 20,000. So actually my existing position, or if not stop out, or since it already got stop out, if ever I'll open another position, my TP area is actually 19,200, which is this, and the 20,000. So since I already got stop out, yeah, I forgot that yeah, it's already trending lower, or which is now at 17,837 area. So that's my personal target. Then after that, yeah, yeah, I might possibly wait, possibly wait, or it might possibly consolidate before it will retest this, or it will not retest this because it will create a new all-time high of around 29,000 area. However, when I trade, I normally what's it? I normally settle it in BTC. So since I trade the futures, even if I don't have an existing position, if the BTC goes up, my position still go up. That's the reason I'm not settling in fiat or US dollar or stable coins. Most of it are actually in the BTC, or if I trade Ethereum, I settle it in that Ethereum coin itself. Because two possible ways of possible income streams. So the Bitcoin itself, when my trade is favorable with me, and at the same time the possible changes in price of Bitcoin, which since I'm more bullish, that's why I'm settling it in Bitcoin. I'm actually a long-term bullish. So I think that's it. My bias here is actually bullish, which could possibly retest the all-time high of close to 20,000. My breakout, I mean possibly it will consolidate at the 20,000 before it will create a new all-time high of around 29,000 area. So bearish scenario, possibly, of course, it will retest this 17,811 area, break down to that 17,800, could possibly retest at the 17,000 area. Of course, worst case is it will retest this trend line. Resistance now becomes the support. The previous resistance now becomes the support of maybe around, yeah, it depends where the Renko chart will possibly retest it. But I'm looking at worst case, of course, the 10,800 area, possibly. So I think that's it for BTC. But my bias is actually more bullish. If you look at the higher time frames, you can see that using this Renko chart, it actually break out. And only one more Renko chart before, and it will retest this all-time high. So even if you look at the candles, though of course it will not be a very fast or straight up. Of course, along the way, we will experience a pullback or a healthy correction, in my opinion. So on a weekly time frame using this candlestick, you can see also that it already break out the previous resistance, which is this area. That's actually around 16,100, and now currently trading at 17,813 area. So the next resistance now is actually the all-time high. So even on the monthly, actually monthly is actually a better. If you're long term on Bitcoin, you can see that it's really a very solid breakout. So from here, a few months ago, that's actually September. So from 11,700 area. So if ever it repeat this one, this December candle, that's actually close to, wait, let's just hide this one. If ever it will repeat this December candle for next month, because for this month, yeah, I'm okay with this area. So let's just make it or be a conservative trader. So if ever that November will close at this area and December will be the same as December 2017, wait, let's just, oh, um, so that's even close to possible 29,000 by December. Yeah, but of course it will depends on market sentiment. So let's see. So now you know the reason why most of my trades are long. From the global dump, most of my trades are already long. But when I scalp, I do some shorts. So I think that's it. Let's just look at the 3 hours time frame and let's see if there's, yeah, since I already got stop out, yeah, let me just check. Because my alarm here is the 17,475. Let me just check on the, yeah, we have a very, there's a lot of lines. Let's just remove it. Because normally when I trade, I just use the candlestick itself. So still, how many hours left before this 3 hours candle will close? Oh, is that 2 minutes? 2 minutes something, and that's a very bearish candle. So resistance using this is 18,270 area. So let's look at the 30 minutes time frame. Even the 30 minutes time frame, it's still a bearish candle. So I'll wait for it to at least stabilize before I go long or make another transaction. Normally, since it's nighttime here, I normally don't trade after the live stream. I normally trade when my alarm rings or during the day, which is 7 a.m. or around that time, Philippine time, of course. But I also have time-based futures that ends December 25. And yeah, I think the ROE, since I opened that around August, the ROE is already 4 digits. 4 digits, I think. Yeah, 4 digits. This is actually my time-based futures that ends December 25. I plan to close it on the expiry dates or maybe before December 25. So around that area. So I'm already happy with the gains. And since I'm also holding Bitcoin and I'm settling it in Bitcoin, so yeah, it's actually more than good enough if you're settling it in Bitcoin itself. Because some traders I think are settling it in US dollar or in stable coins. So anyway, I'll just wait because the bearish sentiment is higher. So anyway, I just explained the basic when I trade. Yeah, of course, the basic support and resistance, and of course the trend line. So the trend line, which is an uptrend, the downtrend, and the trendless. Or yeah, we can also use this. So normally I just trade like that. So the support is actually the price where it's or the price or the floor, or some others call it as already oversold or undervalued area. So if you have a house and it's 1 story, the floor is, of course, it's already the lowest that it could go. So the possibility, if of course, it will bounce from the floor. However, if you have a 3 story house and you are at the third floor, of course, if it break that third floor, it could possibly go down to second floor. So it could still go lower. And of course, the resistance is the ceiling of the house, or that's what they call overbought or already overvalued. So the tendency, since it's already at resistance, is of course it will go down. So if you have a 1 story house, that's already the ceiling. But if you have 3 story house and you are at the first floor, it could still go higher or break that first floor ceiling. So I think it seems like that. I think there's a possibility that it will stabilize at this area, but I will wait for this 30-minute candle to close, or possibly will wait for a very long week, because the selling pressure is still on at these levels. So maybe possibly after this stream, of course, I will go to sleep because it's already 11:02 p.m. Philippine time. Yeah, it seems like it's possibly um, a possible reversal, at this time. Confirmation after this candle will close. So I think that's it. So anyway, disclaimer guys, I'm not offering or giving any financial advice. because trading and investing have risks, so please trade cautiously. Thanks, guys. So if you have other questions, feel free to ask, else I will end this stream in 1 minute. Around 2 p.m. I entered at around 17,600 and now it's retesting that level. So anyway, in trading, don't forget to take profits, especially for futures traders, unless you're holding it for long term. Yeah, I'm actually a combination of a holder, BTC holder, and at the same time trader. But still, I think the pressure is still on because it continues to go lower. It's actually like this trend, which is the downtrend. So wait for it to stabilize or at least create this or create something like this or consolidate before you make an order. So normally for trendless, I normally don't trade because it's less returns. So I'll just wait for a breakout or when it's trending higher or trending lower. But since I'm mostly going long, so I'll just wait for it to at least stabilize. Because at this level I'm already late if I will go short at this level. The risk is of course much higher than the possible returns. So I think that's it, guys. See you again tomorrow, same time, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I hope that you goal is, of course, our ultimate goal is to have a consistent profit. A consistent profit means that our gains is higher than our losses because gains and losses are parts of the trades. So thanks guys. Time 9:30 p.m. Oh, 9 oh 9